Keep trying. I'm gonna play the original song. Yeah, play some in there. Yeah, I knew it. Go up there with shoot the gun. Don't I don't know why my banjo is not like
Hugs.
Hey,
today.
We'll try some claw hammer stuff here for you. I don't know if anybody's done that this weekend or not.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Well, some of us got to represent then.
Exactly.
Hey, I got a new battery in there now. Look at this. Wow, I can see it. Well, I grew up in West Virginia, where I grew up. There weren't really any bluegrass pickers around the area there, just a couple of them, and everybody else played old-time music. Kind of, you know, a fiddle down here on their arm, claw hammer style, funky banjo. And that's what I knew of mountain music, you know, for most of my youth. Now, my grandfather, he listened to Flatt and Scruggs and Bill Monroe and told me stories. When he was young, that was what he played. But my heart was really in old-time music because it was the first, you know, my first exposure to mountain music was old-time stuff. And, you know, it has its roots in Irish music, Scots-Irish music, and this is a song that's a crossover tune. Came from the Scots-Irish, eventually wound up and found a home in Appalachia, and became an American tune as well. My beautiful wife here surprised me for my 40th birthday and took me to Ireland. It was one of those bucket list destinations. We wound up in the west of Ireland in a little town called Dingle. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Dingle town, but it's an amazing place, especially for musicians. It's probably one of my favorite places in the world, being a musician. So we wound up there, we met some friends. We went to the courthouse pub, is what they call it. It's not its actual name, but it's straight across from the courthouse in town, so that's the nickname. And the first night we were in the courthouse pub, there were some of the very best traditional Irish musicians that I've ever heard in my life. Come to find out that some of the ones that were there are world-renowned Irish musicians. And so the second night, we met a friend there, and he took us all over, showed us all the sights around the Dingle Peninsula there, and then he said, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to my house, and I have a guitar there. He handed me a $25 guitar. I kid you not. I couldn't keep the thing in tune. But anyway, he said, what we're going to do is we're going to do what we call here a traditional pub crawl. So that means you go from one pub to the next, pretty much through all the pubs in town. And he said, and you're going to entertain us. All right. So I threw my overalls on and threw that guitar on my back. And we commenced to the pub crawl, and we ended the night at the courthouse pub where we met. And I walked through the door, and there's a bunch of young musicians there playing what I would call various styles of Americana music. Maybe a little bluegrass here, a little bit of old time, some old country, just a little bit of American flavor, you know, is what I would say, country flavor. And as soon as I come through the door, keep in mind I have a guitar in my hand. There's a Scottish fiddler in there, and as soon as I bust through the door, she says, "There's a fellow who knows how to pick a banjo." I can't speak. I don't speak with much of a Scottish accent. Irish, maybe I could. So anyway, I'm not sure how she knew that I played the banjo. I had overalls on, maybe the beard. Jamie said it was probably the way I smelled. She said that day I did smell like I played the banjo. Two more? We got time for two more here, but this is a song that I decided to bust out and play along with them. I tuned up in this tuning, and I asked, I said, does anybody here know Soldier's Joy? And the Scottish fiddler, she says, I know that one. And then the Irish fiddler, yeah, I know that one too. So we all kind of agreed that we knew it, and then about 10 seconds into the song we realized that depending on the region you're from, there's this one part of the song that's the same everywhere, and then there's this other part in old-time music we call the B part. It's different depending on where you're from. But anyway, we got through it, we had fun, And I decided when I came home that we were going to start doing this song. So this is called Soldier's Joy. You all stage 11 o'clock, I believe, tonight. 11 o'clock. So y'all come over there. We'll be closing it out. And we do have some CDs, but it might be late for some of y'all, but I promise you a good time. Our night sets are always, you know, a lot of fun. So that's the weather cools off, and I don't know, we play better at night for some reason. I don't know why. That is just a thing. Anyhow, we're going to do one more. This is a good old time tune. This is one we recorded on the very first CD. It's called Shooting Creek.
Shooting Creek. great show. Hillbilly Gypsies. Well, we're on a tight schedule. Sparky will get really upset with me if I bring him back now. And we don't want that. All right, well, I'm going to hand this over now.